All right, so.
Somebody called in about this vehicle being out.
Officer, do you have reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime here?
I don't.
Okay. Are we being detained? This is my vehicle, so.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, we're walking across America. I've already walked across the United States. I live in Vail. I like to go out with short walks with my cross and pray for the country. They're running the SAG vehicle. Nothing to it.
That's great.
So if you don't have a reasonable, articulable suspicion for crime, then we're just going to keep go about our way.
No, they're not.
Are we being detained? Are they being detained?
You can go about your way, and I can detain them. So
are you detaining them?
Step over there. I'm talking to them. Somebody called in about them. I'm trying to keep somebody from going in handcuffs and going to jail.
Well, sir, you don't have any reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime.
Stand over there.
And you're being filmed. You're on tape.
That's fine.
But this is my vehicle, so
that's fine.
I'm just letting you know what's going on.
That's fine.
All right, continue your business then.
What I'm trying to explain is, somebody's called in about this vehicle, okay? About it sitting here.
Is it parked illegally?
Can you let me talk?
No, sir, because I don't want to see our time wasted because somebody made a phone call. People, you can see that we're not breaking the law, sir. We live in a free country.
Stop. I'm trying to keep everything documented in case people call in again. That's what I'm saying. So if somebody does call in again and says, hey,
you've got a description of the vehicle. We're walking with the cross.
Can you listen to me?
Well, get to your point. So with all due respect, we shouldn't be detained for something like this.
All due respect, I'm talking to them. I'm talking to them. You had nothing to do with this, right?
I have absolutely everything to do with it because we're a team and I'm responsible for them.
I had it 60 County. You started Cherryville Police. You can go ahead and start a supervisor. Stand over there. I'll talk to you in a minute. I'm talking to them. Okay? Yes, I do have a right. I'm trying to keep somebody from going to the handcuffs.
Unless you have a reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime, you have no right to detain us, sir.
Yes, I do.
This is not a stop and frisk state.
Yes, I do. Stop.
No, you don't.
Stop.
I'm going to stand right here.
Sir, I'm giving you the opportunity to give me your license. Okay? If not, I'm going to have you step out of the vehicle, and I'm going to detain you. Stop.
I'm just making sure I got you on film.
Stop. Because I'm trying to figure out your identity. Somebody called in. I'm trying to keep everything documented and figure out what's going on. Can you give me your license? Okay.
All right.
Stop. Stop. Y'all stand over there.
I'm not moving, man.
Y'all stay right there.
I've not moved since you told me to stay.
You can have the meeting.
You guys are going to look real foolish here. Here we are walking with the cross across America. These Gaston County officers came up here. We're completely legally parked here off the highway, and they've pulled them out of the car without any reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. Look at them being frisked there. Josiah, step back. We just walked up with our cross. The officer told us we were legally parked. He got a phone call, and this is the basis whereby they are searching and frisking both Bethany and Carter without any reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. So if you guys are seeing this, call into the Gaston County Sheriff. This is unbelievable. No crimes, nothing. Sir, you don't have my permission to search my vehicle without a warrant. Yes, you do. You need my permission to search. This is my vehicle. I can provide the registration. Folks got nothing better to do than harass some Christians just minding their own business. Don't you think you got enough drug activity in this county to spend your time on other things? Just some Christians that live legally and are parked legally. Parked legally.
You're trespassing. This isn't your property.
You have nothing to do with this.
I do, sir. This is my team. I'm the team leader.
You have interfered on my investigation.
I have not.
I've gave you every chance to be quiet and separate yourself from this.
I'm standing right where you told me to.
Go stand over there.
I can't go back in there. He told me I was trespassing.
Done nothing but interfere with this.
Don't touch me, sir.
Go stand over there.
Don't touch me.
Go stand over there.
I will back up a few feet.
I have cooperated with y'all and gave every chance.
You have no reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime.
Stop. This is ridiculous.
Well, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous that you guys got 3 vehicles out here on some peaceful Christians who are not breaking any laws. Unbelievable.
You're not being very Christian right now.
Oh, you don't define me as Christian. Christianity is not absolute obedience to the state and tyranny.
Not me.
It's not absolute obedience to the state. You're live on Facebook right now.
You're live too.
Good. You guys ought to be ashamed of yourself. No reasonable articulable suspicion for a crime.
Of going to sleep at night.
Of course you don't, because you're a tyrant. You're a tyrant. Yeah,
That's
you
your
just
belief.
admitted it, didn't you?
You
Unbelievable.
I agree with you. That's your statement. That's your belief.
No, you admitted
I'm not gonna
it.
argue with you.
This is unbelievable.
This is an unwinnable argument.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
We
you
live
have
in a
your
free
belief, I have
country,
my
friend.
belief, and we're not
We
gonna
have a
agree
right
with
to
it.
walk down the highway and park the car in a legal spot.
This isn't a legal spot.
Yes, it is a legal spot.
No,
This
it's
is a road with a stop sign and
No,
a.
it's not.
Yes, it is. Have you ever been to the other
This is
side?
private property. This goes through somebody's property.
It is a legal road. Go to the other side
Would
and
you
you'll
like
see
me to
a
get the
stop
gentleman
sign.
here that owns this property?
Well, let's go to the other side. But that's not the issue here. We're not being charged with trespassing.
I don't know what's going on. I'm here to.
Well,
assist
that's a
this
shame. That's a shame. Disobedience to tyranny is obedience to God, friend. They're violating their civil rights. You're okay with that?
I don't even know what you're just talking about.
I can talk about whatever I want to have freedom of speech. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
You're a friend.
No reasonable articulable suspicion for a crime. What's he being arrested for, officer? No reasonable articulable suspicion for a crime and you arrest somebody?
Doesn't have to give him his ID if he doesn't want to.
Every chance, dude. I was trying to get in and out of here. Trying to let y'all go do whatever y'all want to go do. And honestly, I could take y'all to jail too because I told y'all to step back.
I'm stepped back, sir, just like you said.
Just these. Are the keys going to be?
These are the people serving and protecting us.
Just keep your mouth shut. Got it all on film. You live in a police state, son.
Mm-hmm.
Six officers, 4 vehicles for just peaceful crosswalkers. Peaceful crosswalkers, minding their own business, parked. No reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime. It takes 6 officers, 4 vehicles. Gaston County, North Carolina. Gaston County Police, City of Cherryville Police. What's your name and badge number, officer?
There's my name. I don't have a badge number.
What's your first name?
There's my name.
There's your last name. I want your first and last name and your badge number.
That's what I give you as my last name. There you go.
What's your
My last
badge
name.
number?
I don't have a badge number.
Y'all don't have badge numbers
I
here?
have badge numbers.
How do you identify yourself? How do they identify you?
Officer Clark.
What's your first name?
There's my name.
You're required to give me your name.
I'm giving you my name.
I'm asking your first name.
I know I'm not required to give
That's
you my
not a
first name.
crime. Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
And you guys aren't aware of people's rights and what
You're not aware of the law.
You're not. I am very much
Honestly, you're
aware
not.
of the law. What law are we breaking?
This car was called in as being suspicious
And
by a neighbor.
we explained to you what we were doing and what our purpose was. Calm down, officer. De-escalate. Suspicious vehicle is not a crime. Now we have a fifth vehicle and another officer. You'd think we were terrorists here. What is it, 7 officers now? 5 vehicles. Just I guess it's walking down the road with the cross, sitting quietly, all because somebody made a phone call. I guess that makes it a crime these days. Guess these folks don't have much better things to do here. I thought there was a lot of drug activity in these counties. Right there's an old post with what looks like a old no trespassing sign. Here's the road. You can see that it parked on the outside side of the post here. There's the main road, just to pull off to wait for the walkers. And that requires 5 police vehicles and 7 officers. I asked if we were being detained, and they wouldn't give me an answer. Carter's in handcuffs in the back of the vehicle. All he did was ask if the officer had a reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. We're not required to provide an ID unless there's reasonable, articulable suspicion for a crime. 7 officers here, 5 vehicles. This isn't even 20 miles from my home, folks. I walked up with the cross while they were being questioned, and I explained what we were here for. It wasn't good enough. Now they got to sit around and figure out how they can cover up for their mistakes here. No, I wasn't open there preaching. We were just walking with the cross, and these guys were parked waiting for us. If any of you are watching, I suggest you call the Gaston County Sheriff right now and complain about this tyranny. They were just sitting in the vehicle. That's all they were doing. I walked up as they were being questioned. This young officer over here's got a little touch of short man syndrome. He was mouthing and very, very aggressive for no reason whatsoever. Someone call the Gaston County Sheriff's Department and complain. Say that there are civil rights being violated out here. Eric, we're over here near Cherryville, Gaston County, maybe 5 miles, 4 miles from Cherryville. Josiah and I walked a dirt road. It's about a 1 mile cut through, had a stop sign and had a street name, Baxter Road. There were no signs or gates. We just walked through and came out here on the road. The vehicle was parked here. We walked up as two officers with flashing lights had blocked them in and were questioning them. And their explanation of why we were here wasn't good enough. Of course, we walked up demonstrating that what they said was true. And Carter had asked the officer if he had reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime. He was uncomfortable providing his identification, which he's not required by law to do. I walked up and explained that this was my vehicle, and I was a team leader, and he started threatening me with arrest. And it's just outrageous. Now they're sitting there having a little conference call. I'm telling you, folks, when a nation's moral compass is broken, it affects even law enforcement. And this is, you're going to see a broken moral code, and you're going to see tyranny in law enforcement, even in country police departments and city police departments and county sheriffs. This is just what it is. It's the world we live in. Christians are automatically a target. They know we're Christians. We explained to him what we were doing, and that just made him more angry. He told me I wasn't acting like a Christian. As you can see, the vehicle is not past the old post with an old no trespassing sign, and the road cuts through there about a mile to another paved road. It has a stop sign going that way, and there were no gates, there were no signs, and as you can see, there's none of that here. Now they're over here conferencing, trying to say that this was private property.
Yep.
You're going to find that vehicle is registered to a non-profit ministry, sir.
Okay.
It's Foolproof Gospel Ministries.
Yeah. Where did y'all start the walk at?
I walked across America,
Yeah.
and I finished in October. I live in Vail,
Yeah.
and we just go out and do short walks.
Yeah.
And so we started today kind of over near Baxter Road. Right at the Gaston County line. All we were trying to do was walk to Cherryville.
Yeah.
And we saw this cut across.
Yeah.
And there's a stop sign on the other side, and there's a street name. It says Baxter Road, and it's got an arrow pointing both ways. And we just simply walked through here, knowing that I told them to find a place where they could be off the road and park, and we were going to trade here, walk Delview Road into Cherryville, and call it a day. There were no signs. I looked. I mean, I've walked across America. I know, to try to stay off private property.
Yeah.
There was no signs or anything. We stayed on the road, and we just walked out and found you guys here.
Yeah, and what somebody did was they called in about a suspicious vehicle in the area. Okay, we got a call for service coming out here. So there's an SUV sitting right here at Baxter Road and Delview Road. I come out here. I spoke to the son.
My son-in-law.
Son-in-law and your daughter.
Yeah.
I guess that's your daughter,
Yeah.
right? So they refused to give their IDs. I need to sell
Is
their
that a
IDs.
crime?
Yes, if you refuse in the state of North Carolina to give your identification to an officer, you are delaying my investigation.
Don't you have to have a reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime?
And my reasonable suspicion was somebody calling in about a suspicious
But what crime were they
vehicle in the
committing?
area.
Is suspicious vehicle a crime?
I'm not going tit for tat.
You can't answer my
I'm
questions?
not going tit for tat. Listen.
Isn't that a reasonable question? And is that how you? It's a reasonable question. Is suspicion a crime? So anybody can call in suspicious to anybody. This is how they respond, folks. I guess suspicion is a crime. So if you call in anybody suspicious, they're in trouble. We explained what we were here for. He's going to find the vehicles registered to a nonprofit ministry. Everything we said they're going to find is true. So I'm going to be interested to see here what the charges are, what they're being charged with. Nothing better to do, I tell you. What do you think about this?
I think this is crazy, and these are the people that serve and protect our community.
Protect and serve is probably for themselves, not for the public anymore. No, North Carolina is not a stop and ID state. Five vehicles, 7 officers, because somebody said there was a suspicious vehicle. No, Bethany's handcuffed. Bethany's handcuffed, Carter's handcuffed in the back of the vehicle. According to this officer over here, suspicion is a crime. I'm not required to have an ID on me. I'm not operating a motor vehicle at the moment. I'm not carrying a firearm. Bethany's not required to have one on her. She wasn't operating a motor vehicle or carrying a firearm. This is my vehicle here. I'm being prevented from entering it. It's mine. He had my permission to drive it.
Have you asked to get in your vehicle?
What's that? I've asked to approach my vehicle. I'd appreciate it if I could.
Hang on, you hadn't asked me.
Well, can I get my, I mean, it's mine.
I don't know if they're called. Let me make sure. Ain't no reason for it. Hey, y'all stand good, You good?
Am I good to put my stuff up, officer? Am I good to put my stuff up? This vehicle belongs to me.